What is up, everybody? Hoang Zero here, and today I have for you all a brand new deck profile from the EX2 format for Lordknight Sakuya mod. This deck is one of my personal pet favorites from this current format. I really enjoy this, and I hope you all enjoy it as well. In this video, we are going to go over the different key cards, text, matchups, as well as the deck list. We are trying a different format for this video, and by different format, I mean like small adjustments here and there, but please let me know if those small adjustments, they work out for all of you. If you all like it, then I'll continue to do them, and if not, then we'll see what we can do. But without further ado, let's get started. So to kick us off, we're going to talk about one of the newest key cards for the Lordknight Sakuya deck, that is Renamon. Renamon is a 3-cost rookie with 0 cost to evolve into. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with QB, Tao, or Sakuya in its name, and 1 Rika to your hand, return the rest to the bottom, and then Inheritable Source skill, once per turn, when you use an option card with a memory cost of 2 or more, gain 1 memory. Alright, so first off, I just want to establish this card has by far the strongest Inheritable Source skill in the entire Lordknight Sakuya deck. The fact that it gains memory whenever you use a 2-cost or higher option means that your plugins, your memory boost, as well as any removal like Spiral Masquerade, Wyvern's Breath, etc. will all result in +1 memory. So that's absolutely insane. Now, aside from this absolutely bonkers ESS, I do want to point out that Renamon is by far the weakest call target for Lordknightmon. It doesn't actually advance your board state in any way like the others do, and also because of the ratio of targets versus non-targets in this deck, you're more than likely going to bot deck your key pieces such as Knightmon or Lordknightmon rather than hitting Sakuya or Tao or whatever it may be. Alright, the next key card we're going to talk about is one of my favorite cards from the EX2 set. It is Super Evolution Plugin S. It is a 2-cost green option that states, while you have a Tamer in play, you may use this card ignoring its color requirements. Draw 1, and then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon on the board into a Digimon 3 costs or less. And then security effect, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon among them to your hand, place the remaining to your bottom, and then add this card to your hand. So Super Plugin S is absolutely insane, because what this, essentially does, it's a draw 1 and then Digivolve into a 3-cost or lower Digimon. So in this case, for the Lordknight Sakuya, it means you can Digivolve into Lordknightmon for 2 costs, and with Renamon, it's a 1-cost Lordknightmon. So for example, if you have, say, Blinding Ray or Memory Boost, you can absolutely do some really bonkers plays because you can Digivolve into a level 5 for 3, and then tap in your Blinding Ray or tap in your Memory Boost, and then play a Super Plugin S to then Digivolve into a Lordknightmon with the 2 memory you just gained. This play was previously not doable, but now it is. It's absolutely insane. This card is really, really great. Not only that, but it does draw you an additional card, and so in a piece-reliant deck like Lordknightmon, you can also just use this to casually cycle. I want to point out the fact that this being green, if you have a Tamer on your board, it does ignore that, so you do have to be mindful of the Tamer versus option count balance when you're building this deck. And now finally, the last new key card we did receive in the Lordknight Sakuya deck is of course Sakuyamon herself. Sakuyamon is a 3-cost Digivolution with 11,000 DP and states, when Digivolving, unsuspend 1 of your Digimon, and for each Tamer you have, return 1 option card with plugin in its name from your trash to your hand. During your turn, when you use an option card with 2 cost or higher, one of your opponent's Digimon gets a minus 3,000 DP. So first off, this is just a non-conditional electric rush for Lordknightmon, which is absolutely insane. You can swing Lordknightmon, called Knightmon, and then evolve into the Sakuyamon, and thus restanding the Lordknightmon. Both Lordknightmon as well as the Anjuwomon Inheritable Source skill are not once per turn, which means that you can reactivate those effects on the second Lordknightmon swing, and then you spit out an additional 2 bodies for a total of 4 bodies. If you spit out another Knightmon and then go into another Sakuyamon, then you can also spit out 6 bodies, which is really, really strong. Sakuyamon will retrieve any plugins that you did previously use, as long as you have a Tamer on your board, and for every Tamer you grab a plugin. So you can grab your green plugins and recycle with the green plugins. The green plugins will then proc not only Sakuyamon's minus 3,000 DP, which is a once per turn by the way, so you can do that to get rid of small bodies or combine it to get rid of larger bodies, but also you can use that in order to facilitate additional draw power to get additional pieces, or just in general look to set up your next combo play. Sakuyamon overall is a huge extender for Lordknightmon and does a lot for this deck. Now going into the different tech cards that you are able to run in this deck, Lordknight itself is a very defined engine, being the 4 Lordknight and then the 4 Knightmon, but then everything else surrounding it is actually insanely flexible. Yellow as a color is very privileged in the sense that it has some of the strongest level 3s, it has very strong level 5s, it has absolutely insane options, so there's a lot that you can mess with. Talmon plus Rika is one of the newest engines we did receive in the EX2 format. This is able to not only spit out a free memory tamer for you to use, but also in combination with Rika, you can swing and then cast a plugin, so then you can use another stack to evolve that, or maybe you want to just get the additional draw, whatever it may be. They have a lot of different combinations that you can do. Talmon Rika, however, does consume quite a bit of your deck space, so while you do increase the overall ceiling of your deck, meaning you can combo a lot stronger, your consistency will be sacrificed, because that means if you're running Rika, it means you're probably running less TK, or you're trying to run less Angelwoman or whatever it may be in order to fit in the Talmon Rika, so that is a trade-off you have to be willing to make. Cards that you may also want to consider are cards like Lucemon or Salamon that are able to recover you additional security, and then you can look at the many different types of top end that Yellow has, whether it's Mostemon that burns the security, calls a body, whether it's Dynasmon or Chaosmon Valderarm. They all offer their own situation, and you may want to consider that. Now going into the matchups for this deck, Lordknight itself possesses potentially what is the highest board flooding ability in the format because of its own ability as well as the Angelwoman, and then restanding that to swing multiple times. But decks such as Yellow Hybrid or Security Control can be relatively difficult just because Lordknight doesn't gain any additional security attack, and every swing is only 1 damage. So because of that, decks that can heal out of your lethal range, decks that can clear your board, they can be very problematic. Lordknight, however, does yield its own very powerful board removal, so decks like Ultramon, if they don't immediately blow you out of the game, you can clear their board and then make it so they can never come back into the game because you'll constantly just wipe their stuff. You can use Cutemon, you can heal out of their lethal threshold, there's a lot of different things you can do. And then one of the things you can add to potentially to swing the matchup is the attack plugin A or red plugin to give you additional security attacks when you're swinging multiple times, and you can do that to push through D-Reaper and Gatekeeper, Security Control, or Yellow Hybrid. Now to talk about what we've all been waiting for is the deck list itself. Starting us off, we do have the 1 Upamon egg. The reason why we don't only exclusively play the 4 Viximon is because we have to respect the Yellow Hybrid and Security Control as decks in the format, and so we want to play the 5th egg in order to grind out a little bit more if necessary. But the 1 Upamon is just a consistency booster. More than likely, you're going to see this later into the game, assuming that you accidentally just open it as your first egg. And so, given the fact that the math should be on your side, we do play the 1 Upamon for consistency, and then we play 4 Viximon. Viximon is actually really strong here because Viximon is draw 1 whenever you cast a 2-cost or higher option. So whether it's a plugin, a Spiral Masquerade, or even a Yellow Memory Boost, they will all draw an additional card off of the Viximon. So during your Lordknight turn, you can actually draw upwards of 5-7 cards if you pop off hard enough. Going into our level 3 lineup, we do have the 2 Bushi Agumons. Bushi Agumon, as you know, Bushi for game, is still a very, very powerful threat that you can impose onto your opponent. Being able to call it off the Angelwoman, call it off the Lordknight, as well as the restand, means Bushi is still very, very powerful. So you absolutely want to have anywhere from 2 to 3 Bushi, I would say. Cutemon is a new adaptation that we are reintroducing back into the yellow list. The fact that hybrid is such a powerful threat this format, blue hybrid, yellow hybrid, or now the green hybrid that recently just topped Ultimate Cup, Cutemon will be finding itself back into the format, being able to stop those 1-cost Digivolutions, as well as stopping the Mostemon from Digivolving into a yellow or purple Falling Angel or Angel for 1. We play 3 Starmon. Starmon is still an absolutely insane card in this deck. Being able to combine itself with the amount of board spam you are able to put out, Starmon can clear a lot of powerful threats. Renamon, we previously did mention, Renamon is going to gain you additional memory in combination with the plugins or the memory boost. Just overall, it is really powerful. We don't play 4 Renamon despite its insane ESS because it is by far the weakest call target off the Lordknight as previously mentioned. So because we don't want to see too many in our hand, we just want to make sure that we are able to evolve into it in our raising area, we do only play the 3, so do be mindful of that. And then we play 3 Pulsemon. Pulsemon is just generic, very powerful call target. Not only does it draw additional cards, it potentially gains us an additional memory. If you're at that perfect 3 memory threshold, then you're doing both, which is absolutely, it's absolutely fantastic. Going into our level 4 lineups. I do just want to mention the fact that our level 3 lineup, we do play 13. I know a lot of lists are getting away with 12 or sometimes even 11 nowadays, but you are playing Lordknight, so you do need valid call targets to get value. And then our level 4 lineup, we are only playing 10. What you will notice in this deck is that once you've established your first stack, you are able to just kind of take control of that game. So we don't want to just play too many level 4s. Essentially, the fact that especially since we also have a lot of consistency boosters in the form of Plug-in S or Yellow Memory Boost in this deck as well. So we do play 3 Turrymon and 4 Pidomon. The reason we play 3 Turrymon and 4 Pido as that ratio is because the blocker is especially helpful in matchups such as Ancient Greymon OTK, or even to X Antibody if they are also swinging the Oryumon. But the 1-cost evolution is really important for Lordknight, who just wants to accelerate into its top end very quickly. We do play the 1 Gladymon. Now the Gladymon, the reason why Gladymon is so prevalent in this, I say prevalent, but really it's kind of just like a cute kind of thing, really. It's a call target for Lordknightmon. Being able to call level 4 means that you're able to potentially Digivolve into your Angelwomon, or you can also use it as Jogger's fodder for the Chimeramon. Spit out a level 4, if you have a level 4 on board already, go into Chimeramon, extend your plays off of that. That's a lot of minus DP that you can also potentially impose onto your opponent. So the one of Gladymon, it's mostly to be an extender. Sometimes you'll use it for its actual ability to grab a warrior Digimon or a Lordknightmon from your security, but that generally misses, to be honest, so don't be too hopeful on that. Just primarily look to use it as an extender. And then we do play the 2 Kazemon. Kazemon for game is still really, really powerful. We do play 3 Yellow Tamers, and we are drawing a lot, so be mindful of that. Going into our level 5 slots, we are playing the 1 of Chimeramon, like we previously mentioned. Because we do have the Gladymon combo, Chimeramon can actually do some really cool plays. Chimeramon can also fetch an Angelwomon from the trash, or a Renamon from the trash, if you want to inherit those inheritable source skills. So you can do Chimeramon, grab the Angelwomon that you previously used, and then go into a Lordknightmon, and then you will have that Angelwomon source skill. We do play the 3 Angelwomon. Angelwomon is by far your strongest level 5 target to evolve into. The minus security attack, while being fantastic, is not our primary focus here. The primary focus is going to be calling out targets in combination with the Lordknightmon. And we'll talk about ways that we can force ourselves into that 3 security threshold. But overall, it is a really powerful card. And then, of course, we play 4 Nightmon. It is your strongest target to call off of the Lordknightmon. Minus 4 DP. Really strong, that's a really great increment, but more importantly, it is another level 5 that you can evolve off of, so that is your primary target to evolve into your Slash or Sakuyamon. Going into our level 6s now, we are looking at our 1 of Slash Angemon. Slash Angemon making a return back from the BT5 format. Slash Angemon is minus 8,000 DP, so in combination with Nightmon, who's minus 4,000 DP, you are able to inflict minus 12,000 DP onto one of your opponent's Digimon. And by doing so, you can clear most level 6s or lower in the game. There's only a few that get away with it, like Ancient Greymon or Ancient Garurumon, etc. So this is actually really important because you do need ways to kill the Gatekeeper. Slash Angemon is one of the best ways that you can go about that. It's also just great at killing off threats such as Pyildramon or a rapid threat. We play 4 Lordknightmon. It's a no-brainer. Lordknightmon is the key focus point of the deck. It is by far your strongest level 6. No reason to play any less than 4. And then we do play the 2 Sakuyamon. I've seen a lot of lists that want to do 3 Sakuya and they'll just cut the 1 Slash. I do think because Gatekeeper is such a prevalent thing in the format, I think you do want to play at least the 1 Slash. But of course, if you don't fear the D-Reaper matchup, then you can go ahead and cut. Or rather, not only the D-Reaper matchup, but also if you feel like you don't need the additional DP minus, you can go ahead and play that 3rd Sakuyamon. Sakuyamon is an absolutely fantastic Digimon, being able to extend your plays. And then going into our option lineup, the 2 green plugins. Green plugin is an absolutely fantastic card, absolutely phenomenal. The issue with the plugins, though, is that they do require a tamer. So if you don't see a tamer early game, then your plugins will essentially be blanks in your hand because you can't cast them, and so sometimes that can brick you at times in the early game, so you do have to be mindful. That's why I wouldn't suggest playing any more than 4 plugins at most, but we do play the 2 green plugins because 1-cost Lordknightmon or 2-cost Lordknightmon is absolutely insane, and we normally would play 3 green plugins, but we do play a 1 red plugin instead, mainly because we want an answer to push damage through Gatekeeper, we want an answer to push damage through Yellow Hybrid, and then we want answers to push through security control as well. Excuse me. And so because we have a lot of control decks in the format, as well as blue hybrid at times, you do want the additional security attack. But if you don't feel like you respect those matchups as much, go ahead, put in that third green plugin. That card is absolutely insane. We play the one Blinding Ray. Blinding Ray is not only an instant gain 2 memory, but it's also one of our primary ways to force ourselves into the Anjouwomon threshold. So if your opponent decides to play around that with Blinding Ray, you can force yourself into that. At worst, if your opponent respects the Anjouwomon threshold, that means you are getting time to just set up your Lordknightmon stacks. And then Blinding Ray is also the only option that does not trigger Renamon or Viximon, so do keep that in mind. We play one Spiral Masquerade. Spiral Masquerade in a deck that can spam 4 bodies on your turn 4 or turn 5 is really, really insane because that will clear out majority of a board. Not only that, but it is a 3-cost Renamon. It will draw a card with Viximon, and with Sakuyamon, it is an additional -3 on top of everything that's happening. Spiral Masquerade is a really nice one-of, I feel like, because it is your only security bomb in this deck. Previously, Lordknightmon, one of your biggest issues was the fact that your security was kind of weak, because you didn't run a lot of security bombs, you ran a lot of extenders. So here, having the Spiral Masquerade that sometimes you can see in your security to blow out your opponent can be really nice. Of course, you can cut the Spiral Masquerade in favor of more consistency options. I just felt like the Spiral Masquerade, it's really nice to get rid of larger threats, and being 3-cost with Renamon is really good. We do play 3 Memory Boost. Memory Boost is an absolutely phenomenal card in this deck. Not only is it acting as an extender for all your plays, but also it's a huge consistency booster in a deck that needs to see its pieces. The fact that Memory Boost is triggering your Vixie and Renamon is insane, because that means it's a 2-cost Mem Boost, or it's a Mem Boost that is a +2 to your hand, all of which are fantastic scenarios. If you'll notice, a lot of your threshold hinges on 5 memory as super optimal, and so Memory Boost will get you there. And play the one Digimon Emperor. Not only is a tamer to trigger our plugins, but also Emperor, whenever your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon is deleted, you do draw a card. So the fact that you have so much removal in this deck, you will be triggering that Emperor a lot to gain additional cards. But more importantly, it's very effective against Hybrid, because Hybrid oftentimes does not want to evolve over the level 3 in the raising area, because those level 3s are generally the super value targets, right? Whether it's a Terriermon or a Betamon, Siakomon, even Salamons or Patamons, right? A lot of different targets that Hybrid wants to keep in their raising area and pull out to exclusively use those. They don't want to evolve their hybrids over those Digimon. And so Digimon Emperor, the key purpose of that is to punish them for trying to do that playstyle, right? So like, for example, if they have Patamon in raising and they want to look for a yellow rapid play, they pull out their Patamon onto the battlefield, Digimon Emperor will neg them to memory. And so potentially if they Rapidmon, it'll pass turn completely before they can even swing over your larger threat. So that's the purpose of the Digimon Emperor. And then 3 TK. TK, again, insane consistency booster. It is by far the strongest memory tamer Yellow has access to. This card is overall just fantastic. You could look to play Rika Talmon, because free to memory tamer is really fantastic, as well as enabling some more high rolls off of the Rika ability. But I felt like TK's consistency is absolutely king given the style of deck that we're trying to play here. So that is the deck profile for Lordknightmon Sakuyamon. I hope that you all enjoyed this. I know that this feels a lot more like Lordknightmon than it does Sakuyamon, but I definitely do think that this deck has quite a bit of potential in this format. I think it's really fun, if nothing else, so definitely try it out if you get the chance. Make alterations if you want. This is just a baseline, and after playing this deck at Fest, this is the different changes that I think are very effective for this deck. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel. Please let me know if the changes that you are all seeing are nice for you guys. If you do like them, please let me know so I know to do them for the next video. And thank you all for watching.